you've been through, why you got scars. Since you walked through the door, I've been trying to reach you, 'cause I feel you. What's the story to tell? What's the story behind the mountain you're trying?
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Or if you are brand new here and this is the first time you're ever seeing me, what's up? I am Jen. I share all things food, fitness, anything I can do to help level up my life. I share with you beauties in hopes to inspire and motivate you to do the same. Today, I am actually meal prepping some food right now for the week. Meal prepping lunch, dessert, and I guess breakfast too, but I'm only boiling eggs for avocado toast because that's my go-to. Right now, I'm starting to do lunch, which is an Italian protein pasta. You guys have definitely seen it before on the channel. It's one of my daughter's absolute favorite things to meal prep and to have for lunch. And it's also in my new cookbook. So if you guys haven't scored that yet, the discount pre-sale will be closing soon because the cookbook is going to be launching and then it will go to regular full price. And that link is down below. But like I said, I am just prepping right now the Italian protein pasta, and it is super quick and easy. The hardest part of this is boiling the pasta, which I already have boiled over here, my protein pasta, and then just chopping everything. And that's all you do, chop everything and throw it all together. It couldn't be easier. And it's delicious, and it actually gets better the longer that it sits, so it's like the perfect meal prep item. But I figured today I would go ahead and answer some questions, because I asked over on Instagram. I put a question box in the stories, and then I asked on YouTube also, and I got some questions, and I figured rather than just sitting and chatting with you guys like a normal Q&A, I would do it while we're meal prepping. We'll be multitasking and you guys can meal prep with me. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into these questions. Hi Jen, what did you do before coaching? Well, I did a lot of things. In my younger years and on up into my young adult years, I was a waitress for most of my life and a bartender. And I did that for years all over the place. And then went into like front house management, head server, and did that, worked my way through college. And then I ended up earning a business degree in college and then didn't use it right out of school. I ended up staying home with the kids. I still waitress some and bartended off and on. And then I started my YouTube channel. And then I started my fitness journey and ultimately ended up to what you guys see now with my coaching, with my app, all of the things helping people do the same. Because along my journey of losing 60 pounds and gaining so much more, I know you hear people say it all the time, but it really is so true. You do lose weight and transform your body, but what happens on the inside and what happens to your thought process and how you see yourself and how you respect yourself and ultimately how you show up in the world, how it improves your relationships, how it improves your energy and productivity at work and at home, it literally 10x's your life in like every way possible. Because when you feel like shit, you often are going to produce like shit. That's just without us even realizing it. I've had so many clients, and I know from personal experience, say like I had no idea how bad I felt until I didn't feel that way anymore. And it really just set a fire under me to want to help people live a life that was thriving and that they could enjoy and that they had a zest and a zeal for life and not just kind of floating through life day to day, you know, just getting the bare minimum out of themselves and out of their life. And the more I pursued fitness or just anything that I pursued that was incredibly hard, even college. I was a high school dropout and then decided to go to college, and I didn't only go to college while having children and working. I graduated with honors and earned straight A's for my bachelor's. So like doing stuff like that I never thought I could just produced like a resilience in me and a hunger to do that more and more. And I know this is like a complete side tangent, but that's why my passion grew so much for helping people to pursue fitness and overcome hardships and challenge themselves, because it really is where the zeal and zest of life is. And if we aren't growing, we're dying, right? And that's true in every area of our life. So that's how I got here to this current state, with a lot of stuff in between. but that's the quick and dirty of it. The next question kind of like piggybacks off the same thing. What was your turning point where you knew it was time to put yourself first? I'm guessing that you're meaning with my health and fitness. And I would say probably like most people, it was seeing a picture of myself and knowing, I knew already that I just didn't feel good and I didn't like the way that I looked and energy and all of that, but it really hit me after seeing a picture of myself at, I think it was my sister's graduation or something, and I've shared that picture online. I will pop a picture of it up here, and was like, I need to do something. And I had tried on and off, and we had signed up for the gym, like a whole bunch of stuff, but initially I was like, okay, I'm going to do it this time. And then went in the gym, really just stuck to like the cardio treadmill machines, per usual for most women, intimidated by the weights, and just started. That's what I encourage everybody to do. It's scary, it's overwhelming, it sucks in the beginning, but you always will think, why didn't I just start this sooner? And that was always my thought also. So I wanted to look better, I wanted to feel better, I wanted to be a better example to my kids, and I started down that path, and it's been hard. You're gonna have setbacks, you're gonna have plateaus, you're gonna have utter failures, and you just keep getting up and you keep going again. And then probably what kicked it into high gear and really like put the pedal to the metal and lit a fire under my ass was I started listening to Dave Ramsey and Tony Robbins and the whole personal development world. And I think that's really when everything got kicked into high gear. And again, all I ever thought was, why didn't I start this a lot sooner? And now I would do it over 1,000,000 times, because what I have got out of it is much more than body recomposition. That's actually probably the least interesting thing that I have gotten out of it, which I know sounds crazy probably to a lot. And they're like, oh yeah, that's easy for you to say, but it is true. That's always the problem with these Q&As. I like to run my gator a lot, and then these videos end up being like crazy long. But let's go into the next one. I'll try to keep these brief, these answers. What workout program are you doing right now? Anything specific you're training for? Well, you guys know my ultimate fitness goal that I've had for a while, other than to just get strong and be healthy and keep progressing, is to run a marathon. However, that got put on hold when I started working with the physio and working on mobility, because I didn't want to just push through and end up having pain or worse pain for the rest of my life. I was like, there's no rush in running the marathon. You know, like I gave myself a deadline, and I think having a deadline is super important for goals, but that also doesn't mean that if something comes up and doing it the smartest, best way has you push your timeline back, then you absolutely should do that. And my goal this year was to get in the best shape of my life. And so as I went down the mobility path and working with my physio and then started hot yoga, I saw how much room for growth that my body had, and why I was even getting injured and re-injuring the same thing, and that pain recurring. And I didn't want it to keep coming back. I refused to believe that I had to live in pain or watch certain things I was doing, or it was going to tweak it and come back. And so many people deal with lower back pain or hip pain or knee pain or ankle pain, shoulder pain. And so often it can be fixed with a good mobility routine and working on your movement patterns. So many people, if I could go back and retrain myself, I would do things so differently. But you don't know what you don't know. But when you do know better, then you do better. And I would do things so differently. And I would work on mobility and movement patterns rather than just jumping into strength training and kind of winging it and wanting to get stronger without working on how my body patterns were, how I moved. I hadn't done any of that in some of it ever, and a lot of it since I was a kid, and then just jump back in and wham bam thank you ma'am, and that causes problems. Like, we need to work on our movement patterns and master our mobility and our technique and our skill, and then progress with strength from there. That's going to give you the strongest, most resilient body so that you can stay away from injury land and continue to progress and live a strong and healthy life. So all that to going back to what I'm training for right now. I am training for maximum mobility, flexibility, body control, hot yoga. Who knew? Who knew? If you guys have been around for a minute, you guys know how much I hated yoga and stretching and all of the above. Who would have thought? If you'd have told me 6 months ago that hot yoga would have been one of my favorite forms of movement, I would have laughed, because what? But now it's literally magical. It is magical, and it has complemented my mobility and the stuff from my physio so much, and I have made so much progress, not even just with the injury, which that pain I was having all the time, and I was just working out through the pain, I was running through the pain, I was doing all the stuff through the pain, just pushing through, which isn't smart either. That's your body telling you something is going on, and I was being hard-headed and ignoring it, which is why it would get worse sometimes, or it would get a little bit better and then I'd go hard and then it would come back again, and I was constantly dealing with it on and off. And I was like, I am not going to stop until I figure out how the hell I can remedy this situation. And I rarely ever have pain anymore. Once in a while, if I move like a certain way with a new movement, I can still feel it a little bit, but nothing fixes overnight. It is, I would say, 98% better and on the way to being 100% better. And so while my goal started out to get in the best shape of my life this year, I was thinking aesthetically when I first set that goal. But it's funny how God, the universe, whatever you believe in, plays things out. When you put something out there and you speak it and you write it and you have this goal and you just start taking one step, the path kind of unfolds for you. And that's exactly what's happening. And my body has literally never felt better, and it's so wild, and I'm just excited to see where it goes even from here. So we still will be running a marathon. Once I was cleared to run again, it was about as hot as what I imagine hell is, and so we were like, there's no sense in starting our training right now. Why don't we just wait, continue with the mobility, continue rehabbing, and really hone in on my body. And then when it cools off, or whenever we find a race that really means something to us and touches us, then we will start our training block again. So right now it's all about mobility, feeling the best that my body can feel, and it's also helped so much in my strength training. It has helped me progress and feel muscles that I have never felt in all the years of training in the way that I do now. So that is also super exciting. And then also, as a little mini goal, all the new poses that I am learning in hot yoga and handstands and headstands and all the binds and being able to balance and hold yourself up on one leg while your whole body is like bound and wound together. It's absolutely awesome, but I have a goal right now to like master a lot of those. And so we will be going on a yoga retreat in April of next year, and I am super pumped for that. So I'm working on all of that stuff right now. So I'm strength training 3 times a week. Of course, you guys know, walk every single day. And then hot yoga we've been doing right now. We were doing it every single day there for a minute, but we're doing it probably about 5 times a week right now. And that has been really awesome. So that seems to be working out right now. So that's kind of in a nutshell what I'm shooting for health and fitness. Speaking of workouts and workout program, I am currently building the workout program for the next 8-week group, and I am so pumped about it. And it is going to have mobility in it, and we are not going to be overtraining. We're going to be doing the exact right exercises that will move the needle, move the ball down the court, and not take up an immense amount of time, because I know not everybody has a gazillion hours to spend in the gym and on working out, and so I keep that in mind. So this is going to be a really awesome workout. If you guys are wanting to get in the group, I also have that link down below. We'll be kicking off on October 13th. So go ahead and get yourself signed in. If you're new and you have no idea what that is, I run an 8-week group taking all the things that I've learned through my education as becoming a personal trainer and a nutrition coach, along with my experience of doing this for years now, and then also all the experience of helping hundreds of other ladies at this point get killer results. What were the most common struggles amongst all of them? What are the common successes and wins and things that actually move the needle? What are their biggest obstacles? And I take all of that and I just keep refining these programs, each one after the next. And they just keep getting better. I put a lot of work into the mindset calls because that's the biggest piece of this puzzle, is taking care up here, right? It's won or lost up here, no matter what we're pursuing. And we really deep dive on that. All the things I've learned from all the conferences I've been to, all the books that I've read, all the courses that I've taken, I bring all of that stuff in, and all of my own life experiences, which of there are plenty, to really learn, and massive mistakes and overcoming them, challenges, successes, wins. And we really deep dive on the mindset part. And then you get to hear other ladies that are going through all the same common things. Everybody's situation is a little bit different, but they share in commonalities, so you get to know that you're not alone. So that really helps with inspiration and motivation and accountability. And then it's hosted in the inwithjen Fitness app, so I do video education in there, post in there, mini challenges in there, games and prizes every single week, and then of course the overall prizes at the end. It's really awesome. It's an awesome community. It's an awesome learning experience. It's a way to really 10x what you're doing and to help you absolutely crush it, not only in the program but after, because 9 out of 10 people that lose weight gain it back. So we don't want that. We want to learn the strategies, tactics, routines, habits, how to curate your environment to help you to stay consistent and win, and for a lifetime, because that's what it's going to take to maintain a healthy and fit life. It's not just an 8-week crash course of race to the bottom of who can drop the most amount of weight on the scale. My groups are way more than that, and we really dive into the strategies that work and help you to be able to change your mindset, change your thought patterns, your bad habits, behaviors, and help you to create a life that works for you and is sustainable and helps you to actually see results. So if any of that good sounds like you are wanting to join in and do the damn thing with us, then get signed up. Links are below. All right, and we're probably gonna run out of storage because I run my gator forever. Holy moly. Outside, it's like the wind is whipping, blowing all my stuff on the patio out there. But let's do one more. I need to get down the inches from my waist. How do I do that? Well, first off, you can't spot treat fat, so you can't just remove it off of your waist. However, in order to lose overall body fat, you, number one, have to be in a consistent calorie deficit. The best way to do that is to track your food to make sure of the amounts and portions that you are getting, and to make sure your macro ratio is appropriate for your goals. For instance, making sure that you are getting enough protein in, because that is going to help with fat loss and help with muscle building, which is what is going to affect the inches the most, that body recomposition. So simply put, there's a lot of nuance in there depending on your specific situation, your diet history, how you're working out, all of that. But again, the quick and dirty of it is make sure that you're getting adequate protein, make sure you're in a consistent calorie deficit, and make sure that you are strength training, walking, and being a psycho about your sleep. Those would be the main pillars that I would say to hit. And I know that sounds like a lot, and you can't tackle all of them overnight. Start small, start with one thing, and then just build from there. That's what's really good, again, about these groups, not to plug it again, but that's what's good about these groups is we teach all of that, and we build, and we stack one thing to the next. We don't just try to tackle every single thing overnight. Is that little dude?
Yep.
What up, bro?
He's on a
Video. Anyways, little guy just popped in here for a second. But like I was saying, that's what's awesome about these groups. We talk about all of this stuff. We deep dive into it. And then I can look at the nuance of your situation and what you are doing, your history, how you've been dieting, how you've been working out, because all of that plays a role. So it's hard to just say one thing. But the overall principles are that calorie deficit, adequate protein for your specific goals, strength training, walking, and sleep. Those are the biggest pillars and levers that you can pull to change your body composition. So I'm gonna get the rest of this chopped up really quick. I will show you the finished product. I've talked so long I didn't even get to show you guys the protein pumpkin roll, because that's what I'm gonna be making next. That's also in my cookbook. Super pumped about that. but I will include a clip here of both of them finished. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Just a quick little chat, answering a few questions. I'm sure there are more, and I will try to include them in the next couple videos. Or if you missed it and didn't get a chance to ask a question and you want to, drop it down below or message it to me over on Instagram if you want to ask it privately, and I'll be more than happy to answer more in the future. Again, if you guys are wanting to snag that cookbook, super excited, also nervous about the cookbook release, but super excited as well. So definitely can't wait for you guys to get your hands on it. And thank you to all of you that have already signed up and purchased it. You guys will be getting it moment one when it launches. So I am super excited about that. And then if you are wanting to get in the group with us and crush it for the remainder of 2025, walk into all the holiday parties feeling like a baddie and beginning a lifelong journey of feeling good, looking good, and moving through life good, right? Then go ahead and join us. The link is down below. But I love y'all to pieces. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Share it with anybody else you think it may be helpful to, and I will catch you beauties in the next video.